After 2 months of speculating, after all of the fans have had their say, all the professionals have had to say, it's finally over. This year's spectacle is hit. Let's talk Eurovision. ABC, I'm TC Kirkham, the Kirkham Report, and let's talk about the 2021 Eurovision Song Contest. I got into this when Logo first started airing it in 2016. I've been aware of the Eurovision contest since the mid 70s, when there was a string of hits that had done really well in Eurovision that made it onto the charts in America. There was Eras 2 by Moçadadas, which was the runner-up in 1973. It hit the top 10 in America, the first song in Spanish to ever do that. And then the following 3 years, all three of the winners hit one of the charts: Waterloo by ABBA, 1974, Ding a Dong, Teach-In, 1975, which was limited to the AC chart, and Save Your Kisses for Me by Brotherhood of Man, which was a #1 hit on the AC chart, number 27 on the pop chart. I followed it off and on, but I didn't really get into it in a big way until 2016. And of course, when I get into something, I get into something. I have been following, I have books on the history, I've been following all kinds of stuff. Every year I get involved with checking out the songs, ranking them in my favorite order, and so on and so forth. You can see all that over on my website, thekirkhamreport.com. Didn't want to bore you guys with anything but the finals. I have to admit, this year really surprised me because a lot of things didn't go quite the way I expected them to. I was completely wrong about the song that ended up winning because I didn't think the juries would go for it, and they did. So it was kind of up in the air anyway. Last year's Eurovision was canceled in the wake of the COVID pandemic, and it left 41 songs out there with no official winner, although the unofficial winner, according to most of the fan polls for 2020, was Iceland's entry, Think About Things, by Dadi Freyr and his band, I never can pronounce it, Gagmanidid, I think it is. They were back. A lot of the acts that were supposed to be in 2020 were back with new songs for 2021. Of course, it had a U.S. outlet for 3 years, 16, 17, 18. It aired on Logo. Logo only aired the finals. There are 2 semifinals also, because there are too many countries to do in one show. It did not have an outlet in 2019. The Eurovision special programming for 2020 aired on their YouTube channel, and this year Peacock picked it up because I hate that name, because NBC is the home of the new American version of Eurovision, which will premiere next spring. It's called the American Song Contest, and we will get into that later as it gets closer. I'm going to be doing quite a bit of coverage on that too. You may have last seen my Eurovision coverage when I covered the Junior Eurovision Contest for the first time in November, which was a lot of fun. But here we are, and we're going to talk mainly about the finals. Several of my favorite songs got dumped in the semifinals. There was a great song, North Macedonia's entry, Vasil, and Here I Stand, which he wrote right after, because he was supposed to represent in 2020, and he talks at the beginning of the song about how he was heartbroken that he lost that chance. It didn't make it through to the finals, unfortunately. The finals were held yesterday live, 3 o'clock Eastern in the U.S. time. I believe that was 9 or 10 in, where did they hold them? They were in the Netherlands. I don't remember what time. I think it was Rotterdam. The Netherlands had won 2019's contest with Arcade by Duncan Lawrence, which recently became the first Eurovision song in 25 years to crack the Hot 100. It is now at number 74 this week and still climbing. It's kind of, I was not a big fan of that song, but it's a good song. It's not a great song. I didn't think it was that great. But in any case, this year's was kind of controlled because there is still a pandemic going on, although they did have a large live audience. Everybody was there off and on for the rehearsals. Iceland elected not to perform live. They used their live on tape option this year when two of the members of Gagmanadid came down with, were tested positive. They have not yet come down with anything. Or one of them and then their roommate. So they decided to quarantine because Dadi was, it's all for one, or none of us are going. Um, in any case, there were a lot of interesting things, and if you would like to check them out, their official site is Eurovision TV. You can find them at Eurovision Song Contest on YouTube, where they have the videos from all 39 entries this year. I have to admit, some of the stuff really surprised me. San Marino, which is the smallest country to participate right now. Monaco is smaller, but they haven't participated since the early 2000s. Um, Really looked like they were going to finish in the top 10 this year with a song called Adrenalina by a Italian singer named Senhit with help from Flo Rida. But they didn't do nearly as well as I thought they would. They finished in 22nd place. Um, they don't often make the finals. In fact, they had their best showing in 2019 with a great earwormy little ditty called Say Na 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 by Turkish singer Serhat, which I loved. It finished in 19th place, and it deserved better than that. Um, but I was surprised because it had huge fan support. Eurovision often screws the fans over. Quite a few of the fan favorites did not do all that well. Bulgaria's um, Growing Up is Getting Old. Victoria is huge. She's a Billie Eilish clone. I have not really been that impressed with her. She was expected to be in the top three. She finished in 11th place. The jury just didn't go, and she really bottomed out in the televote, which surprised me. I thought she'd do better. There were a few surprises, though. Great song from Portugal that nobody thought would make the finals. Did. It's by a Portuguese jazz R&B jazz band called the Black Mamba. It's in English. The song is called Love Is On My Side. This song is awesome. I'm going to have some links to some of the songs in the show notes. It finished in 12th place, way better than anyone expected it to. It deserved better than that. It is an awesome song. I had it at number 5 on my countdown this year. And I just love it. It's the first time I've ever liked a song from Portugal, which won the contest in 2017 with this weird little waltz ballad called Amar para Pelos Dois from Salvatore Sobral. He actually was in the Eurovision Will Ferrell movie last year. I just didn't like that song very well. I couldn't figure out why it was winning. They came back a few years ago in 2019 with this god awful performance piece called Telemobus, which was this Egyptian inspired cell phone parody. Not surprisingly, it finished in dead last place, even though it had a rabid following from the fans. But so I was glad to see the Black Mamba do so well. One of last year's favorites for the winner was a band from Lithuania called The Roop. Lithuania is the remaining Baltic state that takes part in Eurovision that has never won. All the other ones have won at least once. Last year would have been their biggest shot. They had a song called On Fire that everybody was nuts about that I just couldn't stand myself. They probably would have finished top 5 last year. This year, their follow-up Discotheque I liked a lot better. It was number 8 or 7 on my list. It finished in 8th place, not nearly as high as most people would have liked, which is a really a sad thing because it is actually a fun song. And they're a fun band. They do some crazy stuff when they're performing. These crazy dances. I like Dadi's dances better, but it's kind of manic. So Lithuania still hasn't won. I've talked about them in the history of stuff. Lithuania has gone back and forth. They even actually tried to force it in 2005 or 2006 with a song called We Are the Winners, which was We Are the Winners of Eurovision. They came in 6th with that. So it's still one of their best showings. Until last week, the odds-on from the bookmakers' favorite was Malta's song, called Jimmy Cass. It was sung in English, but had a French title, by an incredible performer named Destiny Chungayeri. She goes simply by Destiny. Destiny won the 2015 Junior Eurovision Contest at the age of 12 with an incredible R&B Motown-inspired song called Not My Soul. Everyone was looking forward to her becoming the first junior champion to win the adult Eurovision. Wasn't to be. She finished in 7th place after the televote. Although she got 255 points from the televote, I gather the judges might not have done that well, because a lot of the judge stuff, the nice thing about the judging, the juries are usually completely different from the televote, which jumped several acts into the top 10. One of those acts was Finland. They have this rap rock style that is amazing. Dark Side by Finland was at number 22 at the end of the jury vote. It jumped to number 6 with the televote, 301 points. Dark Side is a great song. Ukraine, big hit with the fans. The judges didn't care for them too much. The Ukraine was also down in the bottom half at the end of the jury round. But the Ukraine, who perform in Ukrainian, they do what they call electropunk folk. They take Ukrainian folk music and electrify it and do stuff with it. Catherine Petrova, I think her name is Katerina Petrova, who is the lead singer, is amazing, and they got a whopping 364 points from the fans, catapulting them into 5th place with Shum. My boys in Iceland, Dadi and company, came in 4th. Unfortunately, they did not. They were not there for the live shows. They were shown in their hotel room. Stefan and Johan on the little iPods because they were in quarantine. But they used the live rehearsal tape, and it was awesome. 10 Years does not have the same kind of following that Think About Things had last year, and it's a shame. Both those songs and their earlier attempt for Eurovision, which they finished in 2nd place in the Iceland finals, a song called Is This Love, are about Dadi Freyr, the lead singer, and his courtship and relationship with his wife, Arne Sigmundsdóttir. I gotta get the Icelandic names are very strange to me. I'm not used to them. Arne is in the band. She's the shorter girl with the curly hair and the glasses. And it's about their relationship. Is This Love is about their courtship. Think About Things is a message from Dadi to their baby daughter. 10 Years is about how long they've been together. And they also did a song that fits into that trilogy for the quarantine called Where We Want to Be, but it's not officially a part of that trilogy, but it also talks about their relationship. They're terrific, and if you've not heard Dadi Freyr yet, find him. The guy is a musical genius and is going to be a worldwide star. In fact, they just put tickets on sale for their tour dates. They had 3 U.S. dates set up. All 3 sold out within an hour. This is how fast this guy is rising. Switzerland came in the 3rd place with Jean's Tears. I'm not going to try and pronounce Jean's last name. Jean is Switzerland by birth, but he has of Albanian and Kosovo descent, if I'm not mistaken. This guy is an amazing vocalist. He was a favorite last year, also for Switzerland. And he remained a favorite this year. He actually won the jury vote. And he is 22 years old. And if he ever starts recording in English, Josh Groban needs to look out, because he is going to beat him to the punch every time. This guy is amazing. His videos are a bit pretentious sometimes, but my God, this guy can match note for note everything he records, and it's just amazing. He got 432 votes in the televote, which wasn't enough to keep him in 1st place, unfortunately. France's best showing in ages came with Voila by Barbara Pravé. She was in 2nd place at the end of the jury vote, got a whopping 499 points from the televote. The song itself, as presented on the show, is wonderful if you like that kind of stuff. Very Edith Piaf-y type stuff. The video is a pretentious piece of French cinema. With ninjas and trains, and I'm like, how do you go for this stuff? Really? The song itself is fine if you like that kind of stuff. The winner of the 2021 Eurovision contest that I said wouldn't even make the top 10 because I thought the jury would not like it that well is Italy. Italy has not won the contest since 1990. So it's been 31 years, with a heavy metal song called Zitti e Buoni by Måneskin. The band is amazing performance. I actually liked the live performance much better than the music video they put out. 524 points from the televote. They were 5th, I believe. Let me check real quick here. At the end of the jury round. I don't remember. But their point value was so huge. 524 points is one of the highest scores ever under the new scoring system. It's not quite as close to Sobral in 2017, who got 700 and some points. But it is a worthy winner. It's the first metal winner since Hard Rock Hallelujah won in 2006 for Finland by the band Lordi. Death metal meets Christian metal. I'm like, wow, that's something. Something else also happened this year, which I feel terrible about, but it has to be mentioned. Eurovision changed the way they did things after 2009. They were getting so many new countries coming in that they changed up the point system a little bit. And, each of the juries give their 12 points, 12 points, that's the top amount, and then successive for 10 of the competitors. The UK entry this year, Embers, a great song by James Newman, is the first song under the new point system to receive what they call null points. 0 from the jury, 0 from the televote. Nobody's done this in years. And for his part, he was, going around getting everybody going like this, getting everybody to cheer. I feel bad because the song is good. His live performance wasn't the best. He was flat and sharp a few times. So it kind of hurt him, I think, with the jury more than the televote, which didn't really support him anyway. I liked his song last year, also, My Last Breath, which was a part of the canceled show. Overall, this was a really interesting year. We did see where 4 songs got nothing from the juries. United Kingdom, Germany, Jendrik's George Michael-esque I Don't Feel Hate, which is about loving your fellow humans. Spain's Voy a Quedarme by Blas Canto, and home country, the Netherlands, this year, Jingu McCroy's Birth of a New Age, which I thought was a great song. Didn't get any points from the jury. The other 3 did get a few points from the televote, but not enough to do much. Kim is really fond of the song that came in at number 18, a song that had a lot more fan support than it showed on the televote. A song called Fallen Angel. The act is named Tix, T-I-X. He named himself that because he has Tourette's syndrome. He is an amazing vocalist. If you've not seen any of these, Fallen Angel is a great song. He was Norway's entry, and he received 75 points in the televote. Not enough to do anything to push him up really high. I was surprised about the one song that I thought would do better than it did because of the controversy. Cyprus's entry got a lot of heat from the Greek Orthodox Church for a song called El Diablo. And the whole hook is, I fell in love with El Diablo. And Kim doesn't like it. Kim's, Catholic. She was like, why didn't she just say Un Diablo, the Diablo, rather than El Diablo, the devil? It's a great song. It got 94 points in the televote, but it was only good enough for 16th place. But the song is terrific. I thought it would do a lot better. Overall, this was an interesting Eurovision year. We also lost another performer, Duncan Lawrence, the winner of 2019, had a positive COVID test on Thursday and had to drop out of the Tuesday. Wednesday. Had to drop out of the live performance that was planned for the interval where they're doing the voting. They did show a video of his new single, Stars, and his 2019 winner, Arcade. We got a great concert from past winners doing their past hits, including Mons Zimmerlo, who I had on my Christmas countdown last year. His hit Heroes, which won in 2015. T-Chan, who won in 1975 with the Irrepressible Ding-a-Dong, was performing. A number of other people, Elena Paparizou, I can't remember her last name, who won for Greece in 2004, I think. My Number One, and a few other performers. They also had great stuff throughout the semifinals, including funny questions from co-host Nikki DeJagger, who is one of the co-hosts. She hosts Eurovision tutorials on the Eurovision website channel, and she's really, really funny. Some great stuff all the way around. So Eurovision was a lot of fun this year. I'm assuming Peacock is going to continue to carry it as long as this is the first time that the semifinals have been broadcast in America live. Netflix, who was making the Eurovision movie, the saga, Story of Fire saga, when 2019 aired, did air it, but it was tape delayed the same day. It wasn't done live. And they had the rights for a year. By the way, if you haven't heard the Eurovision soundtrack, the Eurovision movie soundtrack, the Will Ferrell movie, came out on vinyl on Friday. I have not seen the movie, but the songs are hilarious, and I'm definitely looking to pick that up at some point. I need to see the movie, because everybody at Eurovision seems to really like it, and I'm like, it's Will Ferrell, how good could it be? He sucks in almost everything. And most of the stuff he writes is terrible. But the movie, which is available on Netflix, has a ton of past winners in it, including Eurovision legend Alexander Rybak, who won in 2009 with Fairy Tales, Netta, who won 2018 with Toy, #1 dance hit here in America. I don't know if Duncan appears. Salvatore Sobral appears. A number of other people appear. I don't know. If you've seen the Eurovision movie, let me know, because let me know if it's any good, because I've kind of avoided it because I can't stand Will Ferrell most of the time. But if it's good, I might give it a try. Don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. We hope you will continue to watch. And don't forget to leave a big thumbs up on that thumbs up thing. Also, please leave a comment. I know many of you are not that interested in Eurovision, but it is one of my favorite things every year. And I will be covering the Junior Eurovision Contest again this year, which will be taking place on December 19th in Paris, France. And congratulations to 2020 winner Valentina with their song J'imagine. The same writers also wrote Paris's France's entry into the adult Voila this year. And we will be covering the American Song Contest. Now, what is the American Song Contest? The American Song Contest is licensed as an official Eurovision offshoot. It will pit the 50 states, the District of Columbia, and 4 U.S. territories in a Eurovision-style competition with the best songs from each state or territory or district, and eventually be whittled down to a semifinal, which will include 26 entries. This has been picked up by NBC. It will be running sometime in the next 21-22 season. Originally, it had been scheduled to run this Christmas, at Christmas time. I don't think that's still scheduled to happen. It looks like it's going to happen in the spring of 2022. That's what the press release said. And my best guess is it's going to take place in that window that happens right after the Super Bowl, the week they premiere all the new shows. When they run the Super Bowl, I don't know who's going to have it next year. But late January, early February, I think it's going to get plugged into The Voice's second run, because they're cutting The Voice to one cycle next season because the ratings are slipping. So I have a feeling that's what's going to go in there. It'll be in between the fall installment of The Voice and the summer run of America's Got Talent, somewhere in there. But we'll be covering that completely. We'll be covering all 50 states and all the various competitions and going over the songs just like we do here. And I hope that you'll be keeping an eye on that as well, because it'll be interesting to see how they run it. They haven't really come up with solid rules yet. Eurovision is very strict about some things. You know, you have to, the song can only be 3 minutes long. You can only do certain things. You can't be political. You can't do this. You can't do that. This is how come Belarus got kicked out this year. They were disqualified because their entry was too political. Um, it's an interesting thing, and if you're interested in the history of Eurovision, go to Eurovision.tv. They have a lot of great stuff there. And now that we have an outlet, Peacock, I hope everybody will sit down. That you can watch the replays of this year's contest, all 3 parts of it, on Peacock. What is ultimately the dumbest name for a streaming channel in the history of ever. NBC, Peacock. Oh God. But I'm very grateful to Peacock for picking up the coverage, because otherwise I'd have to sit here with the VPN and I'd have all kinds of problems. I did have problems with Peacock on Thursday. I had a couple of dropouts. I had missed part of Jean's song and all of Serbia and most of Georgia because I had a cutout on it because our internet's not acting well. I hope you'll stick around. I have more stuff coming today and tomorrow. And check out Eurovision. It's a lot of fun. Once you get sucked in, you're probably sucked in for good, because it's just really cheesy fun. Until next time, for the Kirkham Report, I'm TC Kirkham. We'll see you later. Bye.